So like this, these people were moving around different places, and no, at some point they reached this Varena. This is the 14th place. They say they will reach Varena. This is the place. This this Varena is called four cornered. So this is the same Kurukshetra that they are mentioning. Kurukshetra is also four cornered, and Varena means what? Varena is the older name of the Kurukshetra, which is called Vara Prithivya. That same Varena, they call it Varena. The Vara Prithivya, they in their mind, they have recorded the Vara Prithivya as Varena here. So that is here actually. And similarly, in that, like that, you can see all the sequences are mentioned here. And here this is the Shaya. The Shaya is the fifth one, etc. Then sixth one is the Harayu. So that is what my point is about. So they lived at some point of time in the Sarayu River, the western Sarayu River. And this information you get from Vendirat, which is like equivalent to our Puranas, chronologically equivalent to our Puranas, but it is not exactly like our Purana where there are so many stories, etc. But more or less chronologically, they are post Kurukshetra or kind of period. Of course, the Vendirat started like the Ahura started creating their own Veda, which is called this Vendirat, etc. In Avestan language, right from the late Ṛgvedic period, etc. So they remember a lot of things happen in the past, and they also write that. So, but a huge amount of their history is recorded in the Vendirat, but the text itself is chronologically a little bit. The final evolution of the text, that is a better word. The final evolution of the text is chronologically later than the Kurukshetra war. But just like our Puranas, they may contain older information, older names of places, etc. And they are recollecting all this from the memory and writing it actually, they composing it. So they have this particular region where they are living in the Sarayu region is mentioned as Horoyu. I mentioned their pronunciations are like the for Horoyu, like that they are mentioned. And this Horoyu, so the last part, the U got lost, and the Haro is recorded. That is why the current and whatever my identification of Sarayu with the Haro River, because the Haro, the river is now known as Haro River because it is using the Avestan pronunciation. The Sarayu River of Ṛgveda, it is Sarayu is a Sanskritam. Its Avestan equivalent is Horoyu, and that Horoyu got shortened because after a long period of time you get the last part of it. This kind of transformation is quite normal. So Horoyu becomes Haro, and that Haro River is what I identified with Sarayu. So the point is that I get multiple evidences for confirming or reinforcing my identification of the Sarayu, and this is one of them. And in my previous talk, I could not focus. I mean, it was a very large kind of a chapter, so I mentioned I will continue in the subsequent chapter, and I will conclude. So that is, I think now we have concluded the chapter on the Sarayu, and I will little bit focus on two rivers because they are very short and can talk about very quickly. I will focus on that two rivers, and then we'll conclude the talk for today. That's they're interesting two rivers. Yes. So these two rivers are one thing more and yeah. Ṛjayanti, one is Ṛjayanti, another one is I think Sarapa is not here. I can read. Yes. So this is Ṛjayanti, another one is Sarapas. There are two rivers mentioned in the Ṛgveda. They are not very famous rivers, so some of you will be hearing it for the first time, etc. So these are in today's talk is primarily on these two rivers. The Sarayu, there was a little bit of extra I need to talk, so I was talking about the Ṛjayanti and Sarapas are the two rivers. So you can see basically these two rivers are tributaries of the Saraswati River. The Saraswati River is flowing like this, so. This Sarapas, what you see, this is the Khaggar channel, etc. So here also there is a little bit confusion because currently archaeological consider the course of Saraswati like this, Khaggar River. So that is why in all the internet you say Saraswati is the Khaggar Hakra River. So Khaggar means it is flowing like this, Khaggar, and it flows like this. So the entire course is called Khaggar course. That is how archaeological. That is how archaeology will is. They are like defining the Saraswati like this. But this is not the way Saraswati is defined in Mahabharata. For example, in the Balarama pilgrimage of mentioned in the Mahabharata, in the Shalya Parva of Mahabharata, Saraswati is not flowing like this because Balarama was not traveling like this. Okay, not going to have this. This is going to Himachal Pradesh. It's not like that. He was traveling like this. He was traveling like this, and the last destination was closer to Yamuna River. So the actual Ṛgvedic Saraswati River actually is this river. And today this particular channel up to here is called Saraswati, the older name of the Saraswati itself. So whatever we call today as a tributary of Khaggar was actually the main course of Saraswati. And today, because this particular information is recorded in the name Saraswati. So Saraswati is not a tributary of Saraswati, but Saraswati herself. And it is the Khaggar which is a tributary. This is a finer detail that I want to tell because normally if I tell it, people get confused. Because everywhere if you go in the internet, the literature says Saraswati is Khaggar and Hakra and Nara channel. Khaggar is the channel along in the Haryana river, Haryana region. Hakra is in the Pakistan, and the Nara is the Punjab, Pakistan, and the Nara is the Sindh region where the river joins the ocean. This is how the three parts of Saraswati that is recognized by archaeologists, etc. But there is a small discrepancy in the understanding of the archaeologists just up to here. Up to here, there is a small discrepancy because the river's main course is not this fellow, not this particular stream, but the Saraswati's main course is this one. But of course, there is a reason why archaeologists is now identifying it like this because today this river is highly active because this is coming from the Himalayas, from Himachal Pradesh, Ambala, and all this coming from which have some snow inside the river. I mean, snowford. It's a snow. There is a snow melt happening here, and this is a snowford river stream, and it's a very powerful stream because you can go to Ambala and you can see this river. Khaggar is a very powerful river. It's a very good flow and all. So naturally, they think that this is Saraswati, and this Saraswati channel. This Saraswati channel is a very thin channel, which maybe seasonal river. It may even, most of the time, it may be in a dried up condition. In summer season, it will be in dried up condition. Because there is no good, there is no water, so no good water source for this particular channel. And it is very close to the Yamuna River. Maybe I will move it to the next map. You can see the Saraswati channel is very close to the Yamuna River. Just a minute. Yeah, you can see this Saraswati channel. You can see that this is all this is the Yamuna River, right? So the Saraswati channel is very close to the Yamuna River. So basically, this is also the reason why people say that Yamuna grabbed all the water resources of all the drainage of Saraswati is grabbed by Yamuna, and the Yamuna is now a powerful river, whereas Saraswati became a very thin river, so it's hardly recognizable. I need to travel once again into this region to see whether the river is really actually flowing because it's completely thinned out. So that is the reason why the archaeologists are not very much focused on this particular channel. But this is actual channel of Saraswati because if you follow all the narrative of Saraswati, especially the Balarama's pilgrimage narrative, Balarama passed through so many pilgrimage regions in these particular places, and finally so many pilgrimage here in locations in all of these places. Finally, he goes and say that he reached Yamuna. That is what the last destination. So along Saraswati, he reached the final destination, he went to a place called Plaksha Prasravana, where the stream, the Saraswati water stream is like falling onto the plains from a mountain top. And he climbed that mountain and again moved a little bit further ahead and saw Yamuna River. So that is the river Saraswati's source, no, its origin point is very close to the Yamuna River. So that part is very clear in the Mahabharata. And the as far as Ṛgveda is concerned, there is no such very detailed data, but we have no reason to think that the Saraswati in the Ṛgveda is different from what is mentioned in the Mahabharata, because they are close by. Chronologically, these observations are very close. So then what is the name that leaves this particular channel? So what is the name for this channel? That name, so yeah, so this particular channel, which we call as Ghagra, is what is known in the Ṛgveda as Sarapas. So the Ghagra river has to be actually seen as a tributary of Saraswati. I mean, after this region, it's same. Like you can call it Ghagra or Saraswati or whatever. But from this point onwards, like this is the point of joining of the Ghagra river. So here, up to here, this particular stream has to be identified as the Sarapas river, or the ancient name of the Ghagar channel is this. And there is another river which is a tributary to the Sarapas, that is the Ṛgvedic river. So in other words, these two are like associated with Saraswati, but more or less like names of the tributaries or parts of Saraswati. Just like Veerapatni. Veerapatni is another name of Saraswati, but it applied to this particular part of the Saraswati. So similarly, the Ṛgvedic and Sarapas. So these are all like certain parts of Saraswati. Of course, it's a tributary also like that. So these two names are like the names like Ṛgvedic and Sarapas are associated with Saraswati, but mostly as associated with the tributaries of Saraswati. And another important thing is the Sarapas, which is whatever is mentioned as Sarapas in the Ṛgveda is mentioned as Sharadanda in the Ramayana. That is another interesting part. I think I will show you that. So now whatever is mentioned in the Ṛgveda, you can see it is mentioned as Sharadanda in the Ramayana. So where it is mentioned, like when this Dasharatha died, Vasishtha, that is late Ṛgvedic Vasishtha, who was the priest of Dasharatha, not to be confused with the early Ṛgvedic Vasishtha, who was a priest of Sudas. So that Vasishtha asked some soldiers to go and bring back Bharata. So these soldiers, the messengers were passing through Hastinapura, and then they went in the Kurujangala, they saw the Panchalas, and then they passed through Sharadanda river. After crossing the Sharadanda river, they passed like that and reached Girivaraja, the capital of Kekaya. Then they met Bharata and said that the priest is asking you to come back, and he returned back. So that entire narrative is in the Ayodhya Kanda. So that is why I mentioned like the Kurujangala, Hastinapura, Panchala, all are contemporary to Sri Rama. Because in the Ayodhya Kanda, when Vasishtha was asking to bring back Bharata, the messenger was passing through this Hastinapura, Kurujangala, Panchala, Sharadanda, that is the Sharapa river. So this Sarapas river is mentioned in the Ṛgveda. The same river is mentioned in the like Ramayana Sharadanda, and many researchers identify Sharadanda with Saraswati, etc. But it is not the actual. It's not perfectly. I mean, 90% is true, but it is not exactly the Saraswati's main course. But it is the Ghagra channel of Saraswati. The Ghagra tributary of Saraswati is the Sharadanda, and the same Sharadanda is mentioned as Sarapas in the Ṛgveda. So you can see three texts converging in this particular when it comes to like both the Mahabharata, Ramayana, and the Ṛgveda. Three texts are converging here in this, especially in the Ayodhya Kanda of Ramayana. There is a conversion with Mahabharata because of the mention of Kurujangala and Panchala and Hastinapura, which automatically make Rama later to King Kuru, because King Kuru is giving the name of Kurujangala and Kurukshetra. So automatically the name Kurujangala appearing in Ramayana and contemporary to Sri Rama, because of course this all happened after Sri Rama was banished from Ayodhya into the forest, and that is why Dasharatha died, and that is why Vasishtha is asking to bring Bharata back from Kaikaya. So automatically Kurujangala, all the Panchala and Hastinara become contemporary to Bharata and Sri Rama. So this all automatically comes that Sri Rama is a late Ṛgvedic king, contemporary to Shantanu, etc. So all these things are automatically coming here. And of course, I mentioned about Sharadanda becomes another data point which bring together Rigveda, Ramana, and Mahabharata into kind of things. And of course, Urjayanti is also here, Urjayanti. So this is kind of in a nutshell about these two rivers. And of course, if you like look my book, on the chapter on the Urjayanti and Sarabhas, I mentioned so many other information that there is the Urjayanti mentioned in second mandala, and Krit Samada is the main composer of the second mandala, and he is addressing Indra to like Indra overpowered Praksha and the Dashavesha and transported Narmara and his wealth to the unbounded mouth of the river Urjayanti. So basically, it is a trade where a trade is happening in the river Urjayanti with the trader named Narmara is helped by Indra. That is the context in which Urjayanti river is mentioned. So wealth transport is happening. And we already know in the Ṛgveda a lot of glimpses of wealth transfer and wealth of the trade goods are passing through rivers. Rivers were used as a channel to transport trade goods, etc. Is very multiple times it is mentioned in the Ṛgveda. And Indra is like mentioned as helping the traders to in all the places Indra is mentioned as a kind of a god who support trade. And this is very much contrary to the alienation theory kind of concept where all these people are considered as nomadic people from steppes without any wealth. They are invading the Indus Valley civilization, etc. That entire picture got completely destroyed when we understand that Indra is being praised as a person, as a god who support trade. So this trading is happening along the Urjayanti river. And one of the trader is helped by Indra by saving. Indra saves one of the traders, and the mouth of Urjayanti. The mouth of Urjayanti means wherever Urjayanti joins the Saraswati river. So that mouth of Urjayanti is a tributary of Saraswati. So a lot of river and trade is happening along the mouth of Urjayanti, the confluence of Urjayanti and Saraswati. So all these things are happened, and that is very important data point for us because the traders like Namara is supported by Indra. And then Sharapas is another river that the same Grisamada is mentioned again in the second mandala. And where it says Indra halted the course of the Sharapas river for Turviti and Vaya to cross. So these are very, very strange names like Turviti and Vaya. So these again shows multiple ethnicities living in this region. And Saraba is mentioned here. That is a Khaggar river. So there was some flood in this Khaggar river, and Indra is helping. So Indra halted the course of Sarapas because we know Indra is a master of rivers. And even in the Dasharajana battle, the river flow of Parushni river, whenever it is changed, whoever was the person who changed it, maybe it is some people, some AD of Sudas or Vasishtha who control the flow of the river of Parushni. But that entire action is attributed to Indra. So same thing, like Indra is mentioned as halting the course of the Sarapas river, that is the Sharadanda river of Ramayana, or the Khaggar river of today's Khaggar river, before it joins Saraswati. So that in that river, some flood or some restriction in the water, because of which he saves two people, Turuviti and Vaya. So again, Indra's interference in the managing the rivers is seen here, and he is sometimes protecting some people and sometimes even punishing some other people. So that again is a very interesting information that you get from Ṛgveda. And there are a lot of speculation of who is the Turvidi and Vaya. So they could be Turvasa and Yadu, because one of them belonging to Turvasa tribe, another belonging to Yadu tribe. But we don't know. These are all speculations. Vaya is a very strange name in the Ṛgveda, and Turvidi has some kind of similarity with Turvasa. But beyond that, we can't say anything in a confirmatory manner. And there are certain etymologies possible. For example, Sarapa Sarapas means flowing water. So it's again something like Saraswati. It's of something very similar kind of terminology. Like Saraswati is Sra means flow. So Saraswati, one etymology is like flow, water flow. Another one is the river connecting lakes. Saras means lake. Similarly, Sarayu, again, the river that originating from a lake, or again, it means water flow. So similar, Sarapas also means flowing water. And Apaya also means flowing. So these are all very ancient names. So these names are all having some etymology which are related to the flow of water. So that is another important aspect of the Sarapas River. And of course, there are a lot of false identifications, etc., which is very interesting, which we totally reject, because Michael Witzel thinks the Urjayanti is a narrow mountain pass and not a river. But actually, the name, the etymology, and the meaning very clearly shows it is a river. And he allocate, because they need to prove the Aryan invasion theory, he is unsuccessfully located in the mountain terrace of Afghanistan, sometimes in Nuristan, in Swat Valley, Kohistan, wherever he wants the Aryan to pass. But it's not at all having any kind of like a connection with the real data in the Ṛgveda. And some people go with the rhyming of the name. So Urjayanti, it has got a very, very nice Sanskrit etymology. Urjayanti means the river that support energy. Urja means energy. So energy, or energy in this case, is the trade goods, because the trade goods have value, wealth value. So that is the significance of Urjayanti. But since the people who don't know Sanskritam, like Ludwig, considered connected with Sumerian Ur. So Sumeria, there is a city named Ur, and he is unsuccessfully connecting it with Ur Jayanti, with Ur, just because the rhyming of the names. But absolutely, completely wrong. Because Ur Jayanti has a very clear Sanskrit meaning. Like it is associated with Urja, and Urja here could mean wealth or energy, wealth or energy that is getting transferred through the river. Basically, I are connected with the trade happening through the Urjayanti river, because that is the context in which the river is mentioned, where one of the trader is protected by Indra. So with that, I conclude today's talk. So what we did today is we completed the remaining portion of the river Sarayu. It's very large and very important, and we have done two small rivers, but very significant because of its connecting with the trade, Indra's association with trade, and also another river which is connecting multiple texts like Ramayana and Ṛgveda together, like the Khagga river mentioned as Sarapas in the Ṛgveda, and same Khagga river mentioned as Saradanda in Ramayana. And also, since it is coming as part of the travel narrative in Ramayana, where Kurujangala and Panchala and Hastinapura, everything is mentioned, of course, connecting with Mahabharata. So I will just wait for, maybe we'll have open for some discussions. Thank you.